Hello there YouTube viewers, and welcome to this tutorial in which I'm going to show you how you could get the Macintalk speech synthesizer to work with the well-known screen reader NVDA. So maybe this sounds a little bit weird, and maybe it doesn't work like you expected based on what I have said and based on the title of this video. And the process is not that easy, so you just click on an add-on and install it, and then you have the Macintalk voices like any other voices on your computer. But it works, and I'm going to prove that it works. And I'll take you through the whole process. So here on my computer I have two virtual machines running. You don't need a virtual machine to do this, but it's way easier for me to show this in a virtual machine, since I just could delete it then and don't have to save those settings if I don't want to. So I have one virtual machine running Windows XP and another virtual machine running macOS 10.7 Lion. You don't need to use those old operating systems. The reason why I'm doing this is because both of them does not demand that much of my system resources. Although my computer is powerful enough to run both the latest macOS version, macOS 15 Sequoia, and Windows 11 simultaneously. But that has an impact on the sound quality. And because this video will be focused on text-to-speech, I don't want any impact on my sound quality. So we will begin with Windows XP. So I have already booted the virtual machine up and have the screen reader running, so we don't have to go through that. And I'm in a folder here which I have the add-on. But the add-on folder includes many files except from the add-on, so we're going to open it first.
Macintalk type file folder date modified 5/10/2025 9:44 a.m. 2 of 2.
Yeah, there's the folder. So I'm going to open it.
Folder view list. Not selected 1 of 6.
So here we have a few files actually. Let's go through them.
Bridge synth size 19 KB type NVDA.
That's the one we are going to click on later to install, but I'm going to show you the rest first.
Server.py size 2 KB.
Server.py, that's a very important file.
Readme size 3.
Readme, yeah, if you want to do this in text. However, there are a few things that they don't explain that good in that Readme document actually.
Server-socket.py size.
I think that has something to do when we are going to connect it later, so.
Server-socket.pic size.
And that's another Python script, I suppose. But we don't have to mess around with that right now. We are going to click on
Bridge synth size.
Bridge synth. So press enter here.
Add-on installation dialog. Are you sure you want to install this add-on? Only install add-ons from trusted sources. Add-on, bridge synth between NVDA and DOS X 0.22 author. Tyler Spivey left Spivey at desk.net Raider. Yes button Alt plus Y.
I'm very sure I want to install this.
Restart NVDA dialog. Changes were made to add-ons. You must restart NVDA for these changes to take effect. Would you like to restart now?
Yes, I want to.
Macintalk
So,
folder
we are back. So now I have installed this. And now we could see it here
synthesizer
in my synthesizer list on NVDA.
Bridge.
So bridge is the first one when I pressed home. But if we click on that one, you hear when I'm pressing the arrow keys? No, you don't hear, because it's silence. So we're going to revert back to my desktop speech synthesizer I previously used. So there it is. Now we have to open a system file or driver file here in the NVDA add-on. The installed copy of it. So I'm going to open the run dialog, which you could do by pressing the Windows key plus R.
Run dialog, type the name of a program, folder, document, or internet resource, and Windows will open it for you.
Great, Windows will open it for you. That's what I like. The operating system should serve you. So let's type
%A P P D A T A %
%appdata % and press enter. In a more modern Windows version, you could maybe type just appdata, but in Windows XP you have to put the % signs.
Desktop list, application data.
So now we are in the application data folder, and we're going to press N for NVDA.
N, type, file.
There it is.
Folder view list.
And here we have to find the add-on folder.
Add-ons, type.
Add-ons, here it is.
Folder view list.
And now we are looking for the add-on we just installed.
Deck Bridge Synth type.
Bridge Synth.
Folder view list.
And now we are going to open a folder here.
Manifest side.
Not the manifest file.
Synth drivers.
The synth drivers folder.
Folder view list. Bridge not selected 1 of 1. Selected.
For some reason they put in a folder, so we're going to open that one as well.
Folder view list.
Maybe you have to do it.
Size 3.
I have never created an add-on.
init.py size 3 KB type py file date modified 5/11/2025 1:46 p.m. 1 of 12.
So it's actually the first file we want. Isn't that too easy? So we have to open this file with Notepad, so I'm going to right click it.
Context menu. Open O. Scan with my open O.
Yeah, and press open.
Windows dialog. Windows cannot open this file.
I know that.
init.py to open this file. Windows needs to know what program create. Select the program from the list. Radio button not checked. Alt
Yes,
pressed.
we want to use.
OK button.
Press OK.
Folder view list open with dialog. Internet Explorer
Press
2
N
of
for
9 level
Notepad.
0. Notepad 3 of 9 level 0. Type a description that you always use the selected program to open this kind of file. Checkbox checked up.
Yeah, why not?
Browse. If the program you want, OK button.
Press OK.
Init Notepad. Edit multi-line. Server equals 192 period 168 period 112 period 129 79 68.
So that was the first line in this text document, and maybe this seems a little bit confusing if you're not used to advanced computer technology, especially networking, but the first numbers was an IP address, and the last numbers was the port in which it directs to. And we will have to edit this IP address to what? Well, I'll show you. Because now we are actually done with Windows XP. So I'm going to move to the macOS here. So now we are focused at macOS, which I also started before starting this recording. And we are in Finder. I have put the same folder as you saw me working with, the NVDA add-on folder, not the one in AppData, but in the one I installed the add-on from. I have that in my applications folder here in the virtual macOS system. You could put it wherever you want. I've actually managed to run this through an USB drive, so if you want to do that, it's totally fine. But now I'm going to press Command-Shift-A to open the applications folder.
Applications, now in Applications window.
Interact with that, and press M for Macintalk.
Macintalk NVDA, select.
And then go to open it.
Image browser group. Image browse. Interact with image bridge synth.nvda-add-on. readme.txt. server.py. Selected plain text.
We want to run the server.py. However, I don't have an application installed that allows me to just press the file, and the mistake I made a lot of time was that I right-clicked on this file and chose to open it in the terminal. That's not what you're supposed to do. Maybe this sounds strange, but we have to exit this folder by pressing the Command key and up arrow.
And closing folder. Image browser. Image. Interact with image browser.
And we go back
Mail.
to...
Macintalk NVDA.
Yeah, we were already focused on that folder. Good. And we're going to right-click it.
Menu.
And shows
New terminal at folder.
New terminal at folder. I'm going to press enter.
New terminal at folder. Terminal. Macintalk NVDA bash 80x24 window shell text.
We are going to type here
P-Y-T-O-N space Python.
Python and
S-E-R-V-E-R period serv P-Y.
So first I typed Python just to explain that that is what it should be run with, and then server.py, because that's the file in the folder we want to launch. So I opened the folder first in the terminal so that it was focused on it, because otherwise we would have to type the path name, and that will take way more time, so it's a waste of time. And now we will press enter.
New line.
It doesn't say anything, but I know it's working. So now it's running the file here on the macOS system. Now we need to get the IP address of the virtual machine. And this is another important step that they didn't clarify in the README file. So if you're using a virtual Macintosh like I'm doing right now, you need to set the network configuration for that Macintosh to bridged and not NAT, which is the default in VMware. I don't know about VirtualBox because I've used VMware a lot more, or to be honest, I've never used VirtualBox, but in VMware you need to set it to bridged, because if you don't do it, your computer's network adapter, network card, will block the connection. Not to internet, but for this little thing. So therefore you need to use bridged, so it connects directly to your router or your internet system, because we need a unique IP address for this computer. But now I'm going to
Menu bar, Apple.
Go to System Preferences.
Apple, about this Mac. Software update, App Store, System Preferences, ellipsis. System, now in, System Preferences.
And where you find it could look different if you're using a modern macOS version. I like the old System Preferences application much more than the new one that they added in macOS 13 Ventura. We are going to
search text field. Stop interacting with toolbar. Preference panes. Scroll.
Interact with that one.
General button.
And then search for network, which I know it's closer to the bottom than the top.
Startup
so we're
disk.
going
Time,
from
speech. Soft.
the end.
Parental. System. Sharing button. Bluetooth button. Network button.
Press network.
Press network. Sharing. Bluetooth. Network button. Press network. Dim zoom button. Network.
Okay, so now we're going to walk through the network settings and see where the IP address is.
Toolbar. Location. Automatic. Services table. Row 1 of 2. Ethernet. Connected. Selected.
So it's important that you in the service table have selected the correct connection that you have.
Status. Connected. Status. Ethernet is currently active and has the IP address 192.168.
So I interrupted the speech because I don't want you to hear my full IP address of this virtual machine. But regardless of what the IP address is, you type it in the first row in the .py file that we opened in Windows XP or whatever operating system you have. So I'm going to do that and then I'll come back. Okay, so now I typed it in. So the number, not the port number, those last numbers, but the first one that was divided with periods, they have been replaced by my IP address for my virtual macOS system. So okay, the numbers are replaced and I didn't touch the port numbers at the end. And you'll see that the IP address numbers are closed into apostrophe signs. So that's how you could difference between them and the port number. So I'm going to close Notepad with that system or driver file.
Notepad dialog, the text in the C, documents and settings administrator app with no button, yes button, Alt plus Y.
Yeah, the yes button is for saving the document, which we want to do.
Desktop list, recycle.
So now we could restart NVDA.
Desktop list.
So open the speech synthesizer dialog.
Synthesizer.bridge.
And press bridged.
Desktop list. NVDA 405.
Yeah.
IBM home page reader 3.0435.
He's speaking very fast and with a very high volume, but here he is. Macintosh Alex in Windows XP. I'm going to show you the voice dialogues here.
Voice settings dialog. Rate. Slider 50 Alt plus R.
I want to turn this down.
30.
Better.
Pitch. Slider 29 Alt plus P.
I actually think 25 is more correct. So NVDA sets its own numbers or values for this one. You can modify this to what you like to have them at. And I would lower his pitch a little bit.
25.
I think that's more like he actually should be.
Inflection. Slider 50 Alt plus I.
Inflection, we could mess with that.
0. Volume. Slider 100 Alt plus O. Inflection. Slider 0 Alt plus I.
Or we could have
100. Volume. Slider 100 Alt plus O. Inflection.
Let's set it to 50.
90, 80, 70, 60, 50.
So
Volume. Slider 100 Alt plus O.
Want to turn that down because I think it's way too loud.
80, 70, 60, 70. Automatic language switching when supported. Checkbox checked. Automatic dialect switching when supported. Checkbox not checked. Punctuation / symbol level. Combo box sum collapsed Alt plus L. Trust voices language when processing characters and symbols. Checkbox checked. Capital pitch change
So you
percentage.
see that we have
Selected
all
30.
the normal NVDA settings here.
Say cap before capitals checkbox not checked Alt plus C. Beep for capitals checkbox not checked Alt plus B. Use spelling functionality if supported checkbox checked Alt plus S. OK button.
And press OK.
Desktop list. IBM Homepage Reader 3.04 3 of 5.
So maybe I have to explain some things to you. The voice you're hearing is not coming from the Windows XP system. The sound card of Windows XP, or I mean the virtual sound card of Windows XP in this case, is not being used. The speech comes from the Mac. So if you have a physical Mac and does this thing and do this, the speech will come out of your Macintosh speakers. But I have them in VMware, both of those systems. So for you, it sounds like that they are coming from the same system because they use the same sound card, the same physical sound card on my desktop computer. Another thing, you can't change the voice in NVDA. However, you can do it in macOS. So I'm going to go back to macOS here and show you what I mean. So let's open System Preferences, because I closed it.
Menu bar. About this software update. App Store. System Preferences. Closed. System Preferences. System Preferences. System Preference panes. Interact. Startup disk.
And go to
Time Machine. Speech button.
Speech.
Press Speech window. Toolbar.
This could also be in another place if you're using macOS Ventura or later, because they drastically changed the System Preferences, which I don't like.
Speech recognition tab 1 of 2. Text to speech selected tab 2 of 2.
That's the one we want.
System voice. Alex. System voice.
Alex.
Pop up menu 30.
If we change it to, I don't know,
Bells.
bells, for example.
Closing menu. Bell.
And now we go back to the Windows XP system.
Desktop. IBM Desktop Reader.
And we now can navigate in Windows XP using this.
Program accessible. Start the
Yeah.
desktop list.
So, as you may guess, you could use all those voices. So yeah, there you have it. We could have bells, but I don't prefer that because I don't like to use a singing voice as my daily voice, although it will be a fun experiment to do for how long you will be able to use that before you are going crazy. A few things that we have to keep in mind before you run to your computer and think that this was the most interesting and exciting thing you've ever seen and install this. From what I know, it doesn't work with NVDA 2019.3 or later. And this is because the Python code hasn't been updated since this add-on was released, which was in 2016. So we still have to rely on this. So if you want to use it, you'll need NVDA 2019.2 or earlier. However, I think that there might be a solution to this if we could find the people who made this add-on, or if someone out there knows how to update an add-on. And if you do, or if you know someone who do, please spread this, because we really need this add-on updated so we could use it with NVDA 2024, 25 and beyond. Because this is an awesome tool to have if you like Macintalk and want to use it with your Windows computer. Another thing is that I have struggled to get this working in the absolute latest version of macOS, meaning macOS 14 Sonoma or macOS 15 Sequoia. And that is because they use a newer version of Python. They use Python 3 and this is coded in Python 2. If there is a way to install Python 2 on the latest macOS systems, you will probably get around that problem. If not, we will have to update the server.py file and things for the macOS system as well. But I don't think that it's impossible either. So, this is not, fully fixed yet. We will have to update the add-on and probably also the corresponding add-on for macOS, but it is awesome. And for me, who uses a Windows XP computer, a physical Windows XP computer almost daily, it doesn't matter if it doesn't work with NVDA 2019.3 or later. And I also do prefer the older sounds of the Macintalk speech synthesizers. They have updated them slightly. And I think Alex sounds better in macOS 10.7 Lion compared to macOS 15 Sequoia. But there you have it. Macintalk in Windows, using NVDA and macOS. I hope you liked this video, and I hope you could help me figure out a way to update this add-on. Please share, like and subscribe. And here probably the share is the most important, so we could reach out to people who could help us update this. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video. Bye for now.